What's up, everybody? It's me, JJ. I am back, and this week I wanted to bring you a little something different. So while I wait for my car to warm up, I wanted to go ahead and say that the past few videos I've had the opportunity to make have been dope. I've had a few that were attempting to be educational, hopefully inspirational, and then for this video, I wanted to be primarily informational. Just get some information out to you guys that I know would probably benefit at least a few of you out there. So over the course of the last month and a half or so through September and this month thus far, I have had the opportunity to gain and take on a handful or two of new coaching clients. And while I feel extremely blessed to be able to be a part of these individuals' health and fitness journeys and help them achieve their goals, at the same time, I understand that I don't want to compromise the quality of the service that I do provide. And so, let me pull out of here. What I mean by that is that I take a lot of pride in the amount of time and energy that I invest into each and every one of my clients. That comes from crafting their specialized programs, depending on their goal, lifestyle, general health, and things like that. There's a lot that goes into that, into not only their nutrition, obviously, but the training as well has to be specific for them. So a lot goes into crafting that, and then the maintenance of those programs is equally, if not more important than crafting the initial program itself. So the feedback I get from their weekly check-ins, from just their own feedback during the week, I make myself available to all of my clients throughout every day, just because I understand that life does happen, and as a coach, I take it upon myself as my responsibility to help these individuals with whatever life throws at them, right? And with having these health and fitness goals, I understand that it's not linear. It never is, just because, like I said, life happens and things come at you. And so that's where I come into play, in the fact that I offer myself as a resource to these individuals, and that's what I feel sets me apart from a lot of other individuals, online coaches, is that I'm not only talking to you through that one time a week check-in, making any necessary changes to your program. It's daily communication when that's necessary, and I take pride in that. And so in understanding that and wanting to maintain that high quality of service, I put it on an Instagram post recently that I am capping my coaching services for now. And I said I had 3 spots available, which now that's not entirely true. I actually just got a 4th spot that opened up because I had a client just wrap up one of their programs, and after working with me for 3 months, they have enough knowledge and enough wherewithal to continue on without me strictly coaching them. I'm still going to be doing check-ins with them every now and then, but I don't need to necessarily coach that individual, so that opened up another spot for people. And so what I want to do with this video is just give people a little bit more insight into what it looks like when I do coach people, the intake process, and then once you're a part of B.A.M Fitness, what does it look like from the client perspective in their interaction with myself. All right, cute cats and kittens. So I'm going to take you through how to get to my intake form. Go over the intake process just a little bit before I get into what it's like to be an actual client of mine. So the easiest way to get to my intake form is going to be through Instagram. I'll show you here how to look myself up on Instagram.
and then you'll go to the link that's in my bio. Sometimes that is a YouTube video link. However, the link to my website will always be in the description of the YouTube video that does get posted in there. So you click that link, it's going to take you to my website. Here it is, B.A.M Fitness by J.J. Vilhauer. Front page is just a little bit of an intro. I'm going to go ahead and take you into Safari mode just because it looks a little bit cleaner and works a little bit better than Instagram's browser thingy, whatever. But yeah, just the mission and purpose on that front page, as well as the little ISSA Elite Trainer certification on the bottom. But getting into the meat and potatoes of the site, if you want to know a little bit more about myself, the second page is all about that. It's really brief. If you do want to know a little bit more about myself, you can go ahead and shoot me a direct message on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be. I'd be more than happy to share my story, or maybe I can do it on a video here one of these days. But what qualifies me to help these people? My certifications are listed right here. Currently working on a couple more. Doing a transformation specialist certification as well as a corrective exercise certification. But for now, these are the there's 3 listed there. I actually have a 4th, and that's what allows me to be an online coach. So the client intake form is just located on that drop-down menu as well. You'll see here it says this form helps me pre-assess our fit as a fitness professional and client. It also allows me to gather enough information to determine a preliminary plan of attack as to how I will help you achieve your goals. So then you go and you click there, and then it's going to ask for some basic information: email address, first and last name, height, weight. It's going to ask what your goal may be, and if it doesn't necessarily fit in any of those bubbles, go ahead and write it in the other category. A lot of people would write like fat loss and muscle gain in that category. Completely understandable. But as you go a little bit further down, it's why is it important to you and when would you like to accomplish it by? Because a goal is not a goal until you set a date on it, and I firmly believe that. So it gives us something that we're working towards tangibly, And then pre-existing medical conditions, obviously, how many days a week are you committing to exercising? That way I can help craft that program for you, kind of work on a split for yourself. And then past training experience, what did you like, what did you not like, so we can avoid those movements or maybe incorporate them if you have certain movements that you really connect with. And describing your diet as detailed as possible.
So from there, we'll coordinate, you and I, and we'll schedule a date and time for your success session. And what that is going to be where we meet either in person if possible or via FaceTime or Zoom. And what that is meant to do is establish the groundwork, the framework to begin your program. It's going to dial everything in so we can start that for you. And understanding that I may not be the best fit for everyone, and that's just the truth. Everyone needs something different, and I am not for everyone. The service that I provide isn't what everyone needs necessarily. And in understanding that, the success session is no commitment required, and it's free of charge. So after I get the intake form, we coordinate, we have this free phone call, and on that, I basically just dial in the specifics because I have your intake form, so I know your goals, a brief why it's important to you, equipment. I have the nuts and bolts, but that is nowhere near specific enough for me to actually build you a program that's truly catered to your goals. The specifics that we're going to gather on that success session phone call or in person, like I had said, it's going to start with the emotional aspect. What got you here? So I know you answered on the client intake form why it's important to you, right? But as a coach, as your future coach, I want to hear and almost feel that answer come from you. How important is it really to you? How imperative is it that you change your life today? And if it's not a 10 out of 10, what's it going to take to make it so, right? What's going to have to happen in your life for you to kind of wake up and say, wow, I need to make my health a priority, right? So we'll gather that, we'll understand that, so we're on the same page, so we level with each other and understand each other a little bit better. How am I going to best help you? How do you best understand where you're coming from and yourself?
and your motivation, your what's getting you started, what's giving you that first initial push to making that first step. From there, we'll get into occupation. This is huge. So are you working a sedentary desk job, or are you working a laborer's job? Are you at a desk for 10 hours a day, not really mobile, not really getting many steps in? Or I have clients that are working agriculture and are out in the orchards, the vineyards, for the duration of their day, right? So that's gonna look a lot different. Maybe training, just based on the exertion during the day. What can you put into a workout afterwards or before? And more specifically, nutrition, most importantly, because your daily output, your energy expenditure and energy demand are going to be vastly different for someone that is sedentary versus someone that is moving the entire day doing rigorous activity. So I gather that information that helps me. And then last but not least, another piece of information that is greatly important to myself on that success session is going to be, what have you tried in the past, whether it be a workout program, a specific diet, what have you tried and has it worked for you? If so, great. I would love to know that. Use that as ammunition for myself to kind of construct your program. And if it hasn't worked for you, can you pinpoint why it hasn't? Was it a lack of commitment on your end? Was it too hard? Was it too much, too demanding for you? If we can kind of pinpoint what it was specifically, I know for a lot of people it is the lack of commitment. They weren't able to actually commit, and if it was just an ebook or a tape recording, you're not really being held accountable. I mean, you can either do it or you don't have to. I mean, it's all on you at that point. But if you have a coach, I know that is one of the biggest differences for a lot of people, is the accountability factor. And through the success session, once I gather all this specific information, I kind of talk through what I'm thinking as your coach now. What's gonna be my plan of attack? I'm gonna kind of outline for you a rough outline of what I think would be best, working with your schedule. How many meals are we gonna do with snacks included? What's the best time for you to exercise? How many days a week? I know I got that from your client intake form, but realistically, when we get down into things, people kind of change. They're like, oh, well, actually, I do have this commitment that I wasn't thinking of, and we can kind of restructure things. Or if you're super gung-ho and like 5 days a week it is, I'm all in, perfect. We work with that. We kind of structure things out. What days are we going to be resting? And I kind of tell you what it's going to look like roughly. I'm obviously not going to have your full program ready for you because it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. I wish it was. But I kind of tell you what a potential split might look like for your exercises, what cardio may look like, resistance training, if that's applicable, which it almost always is, and then nutrition, potential meal timing, if that works out, and then we get any protein preferences. I know specific diets usually get listed in the client intake form. Sometimes people in the success session will be like, oh, I didn't mention, but I am pescatarian, or I'm trying to not eat red meat. Any foods that you don't sit the best with you, you tell me there. That way I can put together something that I feel is going to be a great starting point. And it's not always the best, realistically, because we don't know each other's bodies perfectly yet. Within the first couple weeks, we have it all hammered out, and it's full speed ahead at that point. But it's good to know, if you know in advance, like, oh, red meat does not digest well with me. For a lot of people, it's broccoli, cauliflower, veggies like that create a lot of gas and indigestion, and that's not what we want. We want foods that are easy digesting, because if you're not getting the full nutritive value of the foods you're putting in, it doesn't make sense putting it in regardless, right? There's better options for you, and so that's what we're trying to dial in with that. After the success session, the end of it basically concludes with you putting your trust in myself as a coach and committing to putting that work in, and me as a coach putting my trust in you that you will put that work in, and I'm going to guide you along the way, and we're going to achieve the goals that you had set out for yourself, and plenty more in the future, I'm sure. And so we exit out of that. I end up sending applicable forms your way, and once the forms come back, the coaching forms,
as well as whatever payment method the individual prefers. There's a few that I do accept, including one on my website that takes you directly through PayPal. Once that comes in, I get you your program. That way you can start it at whatever date we decided in that actual success session, and you're off to the races, right? So that's how you become the client, right? But once you are a client, what does it look like? Where is the interaction? Because it doesn't just stop there. I'm not just getting you the program, like I had said. You do have your weekly check-ins, but more importantly, you have access to myself from 7 a.m. all the way until 9 p.m. And I'm still working on that 9 p.m. as a cutoff point for myself, because I'll oftentimes get texts later in the evening, and I have a tendency to reply to them right away, just because that's who I am as a person. I want you guys to know that I'm here for you as my clients, and I'm dedicated to your success. But we're working towards getting it from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. as far as the access to myself via text to get that reply. And throughout those hours, I'm when available, when I'm not working at the gym with someone, I'm available for calls, for FaceTimes. I have a couple clients that FaceTime me multiple times a week. And then the text, if you are in a pinch, if life comes up like I talked about before, you're going out to eat, you got a first date, I don't know, whatever the case may be, you just have a question regarding what to eat, a part of your training, you send me pictures of a menu, whatever it is, I want to be able to reply to you on the spot, because that's how my service is meant to be run. I'm meant to be there with you. I'm not holding your hand. I only hold Lou's hand. But I'm there for you. I am the resource to ensure your success. And so all texts are answered within an hour, 2 tops, unless, like I said, I am working with someone at the gym or something comes up. Otherwise, if it's stated in the text, and my clients know, if they tell me it's urgent and they need something, I'm there. I'll make the time for it. So that being the case, you always have that daily communication, and then with the weekly check-in, and it's at least one time a week. I have clients that check in once, but I also have clients that check in 2 times a week, just depending on goals, how frequently I need to be in contact with those individuals. You're gonna be sending me pictures. So with that client intake form, the homework I have before your success session is your initial pictures. You're gonna be sending me a front-on shot, relaxed, a side shot, relaxed, and then a rear shot, relaxed, preferably with a timer on the camera, so you're not holding the camera, but whatever, I'll take what I can get, just so we have the baseline. And then your weekly check-in will be the updated pictures, as well as a couple more specific questions and responses that I asked from my clients. And that is how programs get altered. As we see the progress, if everything's okay, awesome, let's keep pushing. If things need to be amended, that way we can continue making progress or change directions, whatever the case may be. That is a large portion of where I get that feedback, so I can make the necessary changes to the programs of my current clients. And on that note, what I wanted to say to summarize kind of this hopefully shorter video is, I am not, while I am a personal trainer for some individuals, that is not what B.A.M Fitness is. I am a coach. I've said it before. It's all encompassing. So I am here throughout the entirety of your program, each day within it, to take what life comes at you with and help you, arm you with necessary tools to combat that and overcome it and come out on top in more ways than one, right? Because like I said, you look better, feel better, live better. And I have been living that myself for quite some time now, and for the rest of my life, I have dedicated myself to helping others do the same. Whether you have, whatever your goals may be, I invest a lot of time, and I take pride in the time and energy that I do invest into my clients, regardless of where they're at in their journey. Whether you are a peak performance client that needs to progress for collegiate athletics, I have only one in college sports right now, but I have clients that have health reasons, right? The rationale behind them getting started on a program is they need to lower their body fat percentage so they can move the needle in the right direction and not risk any more detrimental health markers, right? They're trying to change their lives and prolong their life. It's important. And then just as important are the individuals that come to me saying, hey, I literally want to lose 10, 12 pounds just so I can feel more confident about myself physically. Because like I said, it translates from physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. It's all encompassing. Health and fitness is. I like to say health and wellness to make it more well-rounded. But every single one of my clients, like I said, on the spectrum of wherever they may be on their journey, get the same amount of myself, which is 100% investment into their goals and into their journeys with them. And that pretty much wraps up the gist of what it means to be a B.A.M Fitness client and to be a part of B.A.M Fitness and the family that we do have. Unfortunately, like I said, capping it 4 more people for now until I can find a way to make things a little bit easier on myself. But like I said, not wanting to compromise any aspect of the service that I provide, wanting to make sure I'm available for all of my clients as much as I am right now. If I get a little more flexibility, maybe I can open a little more room up, help a little more people. I would love to have unlimited clients. It would be extremely fulfilling, but I just don't have unlimited time. And hopefully this video was insightful as far as what it looks like to start with me and what it could mean for yourself if it's something that you're interested in. So with that being said, I will see you next week. Hope you enjoyed. Hope a few of you, I can see you in my messages, in some emails or texts, and hopefully get to start helping you soon. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe on this video here. Again, I'll always link my socials down below. Check those out if you need a little more inspiration. And yeah, I will see you guys next week.